Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I thought I would pop in here for a Yoga Friday Chariot chat because it's been a minute, and actually with a very hectic summer schedule on board, I actually won't be doing yoga again other than maybe some drop-ins for the next month or so. So I don't know how often I'll get in the Chariot on a Friday with a chance to pop in for a Chariot chat, but coming up soon, I'm going to be going away for a week to one of my happy places in the world. And when I do that, I like to kayak. And when I go out on the kayak, I sometimes pop in on the Sharecast from out on the water. So perhaps we'll have a paddle chat or two while I'm away in a week or so. So anyway, how is everybody doing? So much. It's a busy time for me, I can say, and I know from speaking to many of you, just a lot of transitioning between seasons and settling into schedules, and some people with big things happening in their life, different transitions and moves and all kinds of things. And like I said, very busy here in between schedules and routines, and also preparing gratefully to get away for a little bit, all leading up to my oldest daughter heading off to college in August. So there's definitely a lot of those milestone things going on, and just the everyday, mundane stuff as well. But it must be said that today's card is the High Priestess, which is representing our wise selves, our highest self, an aspect of us who knows and sees all and understands on a much grander scale than we are privy to. What's it all for, right? When we're here on our fool's journey, what did we choose as souls to experience overall? And, so that's a big theme, right? That's a big way to round out a week, where we also had some other cards popping in with some messages about, especially our midweek blessing, the Ace of Swords coming up for the second week in a row, talking about aha moments and light bulb moments and inspired ideas and sudden flashes of insight, all while yesterday's card, Thursday, that Four of Cups, had us a little bit disenchanted, perhaps, or bored, apathetic, or otherwise not impressed with what we had in front of us. And I could make some jokes about things that were broadcast on television last night in the US that have a little something to be desired when it comes to cups and availability, but I digress. Like I was saying at the beginning of the week, tarot imitates life, and so there's so many different ways that this week's cards have shown up for us. And under the heading of aha moments and just sudden things coming in, personally, I have some things that are coming in under the realm of recent genealogy studies that I was having done, because my son was very interested and had asked, and it was something that I had put off for many years, the notion of having DNA tested or tracing ancestry roots. And so it's not something that I'm quite ready to expand on at this time, but there's definitely some things coming to light that have been a part of my story and a part of my the tapestry of this lifetime, and the things that I'm here to do, and the choices that were made by many around me and for myself. And it's kind of big stuff. And so I'm sort of dipping in and out of going through the motions, going to yoga, preparing for vacation or things around here, and doing work, and sort of processing some of these bigger things that are coming in. And here is the High Priestess, right, for Friday, and talking about, I always say about the High Priestess that when she's sassy, she says, well, what are you asking me for? You already know. She being this holder of truths and secrets and things that are in shadow, light and dark, being that, this divine feminine energy that, has this ancient wisdom, I had recently heard something that really clicked for me, and I've shared it in a couple of private readings, so you may have heard me say this if you had one, just because this keeps coming up, this message about, when we talk about whether we subscribe to fate or destiny, that there are just certain things in our lifetime that are destined or fated to be, all while we navigate with our free will choice on our fool's journey. And I heard it, described that actually what we see from a limited perspective, from the view that we have from this frequency that we are on in our conscious self, what we see as fate or destiny, or things that just are going to be no matter what free will choice we make, that on the other side, destiny is actually just the will of our higher self, that on the highest dimension, the absolute highest frequency expression of us as a soul, as a being, is actually got this, has already got it all on lock, that there is a plan for the overarching experience of a soul to be having in this lifetime on this fool's journey. And so, yes, there is so many nuance of free will choices and the overlap of others' free will choices and how they all impact each other that are always ongoing, that from the highest perspective, it's all your higher self that has orchestrated all of it. And so we may experience it as something that is fated or destined, that we have no control over. Whatever will be. But actually, it's perfectly according to plan. And it's perfectly in alignment with our highest self, with our soul's plan and desire. And that, unbelievably, all of this is being orchestrated through... that was my daughter. She was just working out and she just clicked her nails on on the window. So she was on a run, I guess. Good for her. She's the only Jeffries you'll see taking it for a jog out of this house. I'm a walker. But nonetheless, so yeah, it's kind of interesting because I'm having this moment where I'm sort of going through the mundane day by day, not so exciting, not so sexy, stuff that makes up the chopping of the wood and the carrying of the water. And then there's like this massive, soul plan that's unfolding through awarenesses and aha moments and truths coming to the surface, and things that are really speaking to me, like I said, and I'm just sharing what's coming up for me, trusting that there's always something in there for you that, may resonate for you, as far as this reconciling between that everyday ho-hum, aspect of life and self and reality, that which we can see and perceive in our immediate surroundings, or even as we look ahead, how many weeks, months, years down the line, and we have plans and we have things that we want to accomplish, or we have ways that we think things are going to go. We have stories that we understand to be true just because that's what we were told, and we've always perpetuated. We've actually built an entire reality based on those stories. High Priestess shows up, and suddenly, as that veil is thinning, as that curtain is pulling back, as we ever endeavor to become more in alignment with the highest expression of ourselves, suddenly other truths are coming to light, other realities, other understandings that create an entirely new potential, just like that, in ways that we never saw as being remotely on the table or an option of any kind. And this is herein lies the magic of, taking what is coming in energetically, if from the ethereal, this intangible, and bringing it down and rooting and grounding it in, and bringing together in this way that is perfectly orchestrated by an aspect of ourself who knows, your highest self, an expression of you who knows the plan. And when I say that, I don't mean it in this rigid, fixed, we would call it that, right? Our language would say it's destined. It's preordained, right? Our higher self. This is a newer concept that's just come into me in the last couple weeks from tuning into different podcasts and such. And I would say, I'm not sure which one it was, or else I would be telling you which source it was. For sure, it was an amazing podcaster, Emilio Ortiz, who has Just Tap In, is a series of absolutely next level enlightened conversations he has with so many different souls. This was one of them that I had watched that put forward this notion that which we interpret as destiny or fate at the highest dimension, at the highest realm, the highest reality of our soul expression is actually just what we planned all along. But there's been this meandering choose your own adventure, which we co-create with all these other fools on their journeys. And, it includes the good, the bad, the ugly, the downright devastating, all the twists, all the turns, all these plot lines that, like I said, for me, what's coming to light is really something that is really got me thinking a lot about how actually miraculous it is that I ended up on this path that I'm on, that I do ancestral healings, that I do inner child healings for others, through having had my own experiences that actually are still unfolding. And the healing is perpetual. Always will be, just unfolding into deeper and deeper layers of healing, of greater understanding, of learning, and yes, the releasing, the forgiving, the shedding, old stories and karma and so much more. So, and I don't mean to be like elusive about it, but like I said, this is like hot off of the Ace of Swords press for me. But that being said, how's your week been in terms of moving through our cards this week? I haven't been on the Sharecast as much just because there's been a lot of session work to get to and continues to for this next week. I will actually begin to talk about what's coming up next, which is July and the July Empowerment Pack. Now, I'm going to be traveling as of July 6th. So we have some exciting, energetic, portals opening up over this time period. So I'm going to be a busy beaver. Head down for this next week because we do have the month ahead for July that I'll be setting up the altar space, doing the part 1 reading where we'll tap into color, crystal, spirit, animal, and other oracle energies and healing energy sprays and such that are coming up to help to guide us through July. I already have had some themes. I'm working on the intuited words that are coming up. And then the month ahead readings, with that. And then there will be a new moon on July 5th, a new moon in Cancer in the 5th into the 6th, depending on where you are in the world, that I will also be recording before I leave. So while I'm away, we'll have the 7-7 portal, the gateway for the 7-7 energy. So again, I will definitely be checking in while I'm away and sharing some of the beautiful nature, where I will be, and any inspired, stuff that comes in, any spiritual breadcrumbs that I come upon. But all that while everybody's home for summer, we're in this transition. So I've just had a lot going on in terms of my availability to check in every time I might like to. But that is all good. And I appreciate you all for being here. We'll kick off a new Sharecast for July. Bookings are open now if you would like to join me for the month of July for the Empowerment Pack, as well as the bundles, which would be July, August, September, which is an amazing block to work together. August, I'm just telling you now, 8/8 Lionsgate, also my birthday. This is an 8 year. So we're talking 888 energy on the 8th of August. 888. 8. So August is definitely a month to connect in. And don't forget, this month coming up, July, we have that second Capricorn full moon on the other end of Cancer season. So this would be a fantastic month or block to come in for the bundles that I offer, which are actually the greatest deal, where we work together for 3 months, 3 readings every month, plus unlimited 1-card pulls and all other kinds of goodies. But like I said, those things are now available. And I still have solstice readings and other things out there. But like I said, I'm sort of, planning according to knowing that I have this travel coming up and, making sure that I can energetically sustain. So I would love to know if you are joining for July, so we can be sure to get all of those readings, messages, and goodies off to you before I get the heck out of Dodge in the coming week. But there'll be more to come on that. I'll share some things as I prepare to leave, and then also, like I said, while I'm away. So anyway, High Priestess, what are you asking me for? You already know. So here's the thing. That which feels so far out, removed, fated, destined, I don't know, does it even matter what I do or what choices I make in the here and now, because ultimately there's some, overarching plan in place. It's so beautiful because we made those plans. But we just don't get to have conscious awareness of them, because the fun, we decided at soul level that the fun was in the finding out, right? The fun was in the remembering. So we remember, we ever endeavor to remember, right? That was all part of some of the channeled words that came in for me over the previous months. To really begin to bring back together all of these aspects of self and to bring them into harmony and to really align with that highest expression of ourself whenever we are able to, right? But also understand that we are here to have this human experience, which includes all the twists, the turns, the ups, the downs, and the unknowns. But the more that we utilize those tools to connect in with that wise version of ourself, that aspect of us who knows, the more we can flow, because it just feels aligned. And then suddenly, even things that seem so far out and so potentially challenging, difficult, insurmountable, suddenly don't seem so much, because we have this steadiness within, this core knowingness that keeps us anchored as we go. And there's this peace and solace in knowing that it's all unfolding divinely. And, we simply just have this opportunity as the magicians to utilize our tools, to have a willingness to use those things and to try them in new ways, to hone our craft, to be able to have an openness and a willingness to not knowing it all, but trusting and allowing. So those are the things that were popping in for me today. I'm going to go ahead in now and get started with my day and some work, but I'm very grateful to have began the day with the yoga and having a chance to pop in for a chariot chat with all of you. So stay tuned. I will be on this weekend to do our first week of July for the week ahead collective card pulls. I may or may not be able to offer the complimentary personal cards, because like I said, it's going to be a jam-packed week for me. It's also a holiday week here with Independence Day and such, so there's just a lot of things kind of shifting and off schedule. So I'll keep you posted. But first and foremost, I'll be in on Sunday with the new July altar with a new deck to pull our cards for the first week of July. And also we'll be kicking off the July Empowerment Pack. So do check that out if you're interested. I'd love to have you along, and we will be in touch. So thank you so much. I'm sending lots of love and many blessings. We'll talk soon.